You sound like a festering jizz box. I got a festering jizz box right over there in that corner. Hey guys, this is Eckhart Slatter. Hello and welcome to another very important, very crucial Star Wars lore video. And today we are returning to the classic Bantam era of Star Wars legends and looking at Planet of Twilight and the story of something YouTube probably isn't going to like very much, and that is the festering jizz box. So JIZZ, and presumably also jizz boxes, have been a part of Star Wars for a very long time, all the way back to A New Hope. JIZZ is the style of music played by the Cantina Band in Episode 4, Max Rebo in Episode 6, and is a staple of the Star Wars universe. Someone who plays JIZZ is known as a JIZZ whaler. Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes or the Max Rebo Band are called, well, you guessed it, jizz bands. What then is a jizz box? Well, for some reason, I can't figure out why, a jizz box and a festering jizz box is only ever mentioned by name in Planet of Twilight, but it's very clearly used to represent a droid or machine that plays jizz through speakers, like a jukebox. Basically something you would put up in your cantina or your tap caf to play jizz for the fine patrons of your establishment. The word festering is used because for some reason Barbara Hamley, who wrote this book, thought that festering would be a common sort of slang word within the Star Wars universe. It's probably used on like 10 or 12 different occasions within this book. If they hadn't been tipped off by that festering witch hag ex-wife of mine back on Algar. What in Sith festering blazes do you think this is? A luxury liner? Close that festering boarding ramp, you muck-sodden flapdragon. Do I have to do everything on this maw-sapping ship? Joss, get us out of here. Fruck, open fire on those festering gopso. Hang on the lot of you, bunch of crab-sucking, mortless, soap-using cheese brains. So you can see Barbara's language in this book was very flowery and very, very festering. So what's going on here? Why are we talking about jizz boxes anyway, despite the fact that it's a funny word? Well, let's talk about how we got to this point with a very, very brief recap of the Callista trilogy. The Callista trilogy is made up of 3 books. We have, first of all, Children of the Jedi, and then Darksaber, and then the final book that we're discussing today, Planet of Twilight. In Children of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker falls in love with an artificial intelligence which is running one of Palpatine's battle moons, a battle moon being a very large space station. Of course, it turns out that the artificial intelligence is not actually that, rather it's the soul of a Jedi trapped within the system. Don't worry though, because the relationship between Luke and Callista, the name of the Jedi within the system, becomes physical as she takes the body of one of Luke's Jedi students and they go off on their way. However, of course, Callista, having taken the body of the student, loses her connection to the Force, and much of Darksaber is spent trying to re-establish that connection, with Luke going everywhere from Hoth, as we discussed in a prior video, to an asteroid spa, and more. Callista, unfortunately, is not able to secure her Force powers, and after defeating an attack by Natasi Dal on Luke's Jedi Praxium, runs away and leaves Luke quite heartbroken. In the 3rd book, Planet of Twilight, Leia is also under a diplomatic mission. However, while on that diplomatic mission, she is kidnapped by a set of fleshy, androgynous androids. Basically, they're droids with skin meant to look like humans. They steal Leia and bring her to a planet known as Nam Chorios, where she's under both the watchful eye of a Jedi Hutt and also a giant bug in human form. However, when Leia is kidnapped, C-3PO and R2-D2 are left to their own devices, and that's where we get the festering jizz scene as they are trying to scrap together some credits to get off the planet they're on so they can let the New Republic know that Leia has been kidnapped. So their idea is basically to busk her down at local cantinas and make enough money to book a ride on a freighter or shuttle or whatever else. Unfortunately, the assistant manager at the Wookiees Codpiece, which is where they're trying to get a job, already has a festering jizz box. Still, because C-3PO was very talented in playing classical music, he ends up impressing the bartender of the establishment enough to earn himself 10 credits. That leads to a long journey of 3PO and R2 trying to get their way to the New Republic, being on the same planet that Han Solo's on at one point, but not being able to shout loud enough for him to hear them, running into the middle of a civil war. All of well, Princess Leia is dealing with these bugs that suck up people's life energies, and a planet where you use the Force and there's a massive lightning storm on the other side of the world. It's all a very insane book, and if you want to learn more, we did just cover, as I mentioned earlier, I think anyway, the entire trilogy on my podcast, Tap Cap Transmissions. It's sort of like a book club, so if you want to read and then go and watch the episodes, that would be cool. But guys, that's all I had for today. I thought I'd do a quick video on this because it is kind of a little bit funny to my juvenile humor. But guys, that's all for now. Until next time, be safe, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.